Hello, my dear friends. Best greetings from Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. My name is Dr. Viktor Fursov. I am a research entomologist, beekeeper, and teacher. Best greetings from my channel. Just I switch on telephone. I'm very pleased to meet you today on my channel after long break because of some unpredictable circumstances which are just happening now in Ukraine, and you know about it. That's why it's quite difficult to tell about insects, about honeybees, about entomology, and about science through internet. But nevertheless, despite all circumstances, let's go show on. Let's start our stream devoted to beekeeping and beekeeping terminology, and actually devoted to terminology about first subject honeybees. Honeybees because beekeepers study and working with honeybees. And what means honeybees? Yes, I will tell you today about different types of honeybees because honeybees they're totally different. If you can catch one small honeybee, you don't know what function of this honeybee at this moment because honeybees are different during their life stage. And actually you can see behind of me picture of wasps, parasitic wasps, because I'm studying professionally parasitic wasps, which are called calcid wasps. They're entomophagous insects. They're eating another insects, feeding larvae of calcid wasp, feeding another insects. So that's why they're entomophagous. Honeybees, they're antophagous because they're feeding on nectar. They're coming to flowers and collecting nectar. And what's about honeybee? Let's start give the definition about honeybee. I take this book, ABC to XYZ of bee culture, the primary beekeeping information resource, encyclopedia of honeybees, and encyclopedia of beekeeping, because this is Amos Eva's root encyclopedia. And what's about definition of honeybee? Let's start from definition. Honeybees are animals, small animals, tiny animals, which belong to a group called insects. Like all insects, they have three pairs of legs, three body parts, head, thorax, and abdomen. The head carries most of sensory organs, eyes, antennae, and mouth parts. The thorax has a bundle of muscles to which the legs and wings are attached. The abdomen contains the digestive and reproductive system, and in the case of females, the chief defense weapon, the sting. The members of colony are drones males and two female cusps, the queen and workers. So we can say queen bee, first definition, and worker bee. They're working and making different work. During their life stage, work will be different. We will talk today about it. Drones are often mistakenly thought as a special caste. No, this is sex. Drone is a male and queen, this is a female bee. And workers were also female bees. The sole function of drones is to mate. The function of queen is to lay eggs, and queen produce chemical substances, pheromones, to which they are recognized, and which affect social order of the whole honeybee colony. The queen makes no decision in the colony other than to determine if a cell is suitable to receive an egg. The worker honeybees, all females, do all the work and making whatever decisions are necessary to the colony to function. No honeybee, drone, queen, or worker can live alone. They are social insects, social animals, and as such cannot function unless the minimum number of bees are present in the unit. For example, in a beehive, artificial or natural. We will be talking about it later. Food exchange among members of a community is a part of a social system, and it appears that information about status of colony, including the presence of a queen and the quantity of food available, is conveyed in this way. While a queen and a few hundreds bees may be a sufficient number to survive under laboratory conditions, or in the queen mating nucleus in the summer, many more bees are required to survive in winter or prolonged drought. The minimum number of honeybees in a colony is approximately 10,000 or 15,000 worker bees and a single queen, usually. Males are not necessary for colony to survive under harsh conditions. However, drones are responsible for moral of a colony and also partially for survival of a colony because of reproduction function. No honeybees are native to North or South America, New Zealand or Australia. The honeybees in North America, they came from Europe. They introduced both the European and African honeybees, which are the same species, have a scientific name, Apis mellifera. Apis is the name of a genus. It is used to designate a group of closely related animals, insects. The second part of name, mellifera, is a specific name, species name. Our system of naming plants and animals calls this use of two names. This is binomial nomenclature. People who name plants and animals agree that those within the same species can interbreed freely and produce normal offspring. For example, the donkey and horse, animals of different species, can mate, but their offspring, the mule, is sterile and cannot reproduce. Because mule is sterile, the horse and donkey is considered different species. Most animals from different species show no sexual interest in each other. The Asian honeybee that belong to the genus Apis are considered to be different species. These are species Apis cerana, Apis dorsata, Apis florea, Apis laboriosa. Asian honeybees have not been studied so extensively as the European honeybees, Apis mellifera. While the biology of Apis species is similar, they have a different behavior. And of course, the pests, predators, and diseases may affect each species in different ways. Well, what about different types of honeybees? Let's talk about honeybees. Okay, we recognize in honeybees different castes, female and male, female worker, female queen, queen bee, honeybee, and drone. This is a male bee. And what about functions of bees? During the life stage, function is different. I will use this in another book, Honeybee Biology, to read you about some details about biology, about hive bees. And actually, bees were partially domesticated. We can say domesticated because they are living in beehives, in artificial house for honeybees. So we can say domesticated honeybees. But what about honeybees outside, somewhere in a forest, somewhere in a desert, like in Texas or Arizona? If they escaped from beehive, they're feral bees. Feral bees. And actually, there are many species, about 15 1,000 species of another species of bees. So they're native bees, they're not honeybees. They're different genus rather than apis, because this is a big superfamily Apoidea, very special one, which contains bees. But today we are talking about honeybees, about hive bees living in beehive. Let's go to talk about their functions. Workers, honeybees, bee workers, they pass through a sequence of duties or different types of behavior as they have a different age. When they emerge as adults, worker bees initially feed on pollen stores, staying within a brood area and avoiding light. This is a typical negative phototoxicity, by escaping from the light. While juvenile hormone levels build inside them, workers initially perform hive duties as house bees. So house bees, bees which are living in a beehive or in natural hive, natural house, somewhere in a whole tree. And these are house bees. They still do not leave the colony, the inside colony, house bees. They start as house cleaners, cleaning bee walks, cells in the brood area and also cleaning the hive. They learn to find their way about and beg for food. As worker bees age, they do more complex tasks. After initial feeding on pollen stores, the hypopharyngeal glands in the head of bees were developing. And what happens? These hypopharyngeal glands produce royal jelly. Well, very important royal jelly. Then glands mature. The worker function is becoming nurse bees, provisioning the younger is developing larvae royal jelly. Other nurse bees feed older larvae just a mixture of pollen and diluted honey. So we see this is first function and one type of castes. Nurse bees, cleaners bees, and what happens later? Nectar ripening is usually the next behavior of worker performs. A bee which is not feeding larvae leaves the brood area of a hive to position herself near the hive entrance. Here, the worker bee takes a partial honey stomach load of incoming bees from field bee. Field bee, which was coming somewhere outside in a field to collect nectar and bring it to the house, bring to a hive. Females carries the nectar to a quiet part of a hive above the brood area to begin achieve evaporation of a moisture content from the nectar. This predigestion begins conversion of nectar into honey. And this process of active evaporation consists of regurgitating honey stomach content and blowing a series of bubbles through mix of enzyme sucrase into nectar. The bubble creates a large surface to volume ratio favorable to water evaporation of a warm and dry atmosphere of a hive. So the worker bee sucks the nectar back to the honey stomach, and worker bee repeats the process for 20 minutes or so, and then puts her bubble in now ripening honey in an empty cell, where already passive evaporation continues moisture reduction. Ripening nectar is consolidating before filled cells are capped with bee wax. What about other bees? Other bees of this age help store pollen. The field bee, which collects the pollen, places the content of her full pollen baskets into the available cell within or immediately outside to rearing area. Hive bees pack the pollen into the cells with their head, and then each cell is about 2/3 of filled and packed. An adult worker places a glaze of honey just over the complete cell to help preserve the pollen. The pollen will now be converted to bee bread. Other hive bees' tasks include feeding the queen and removing her waste, removing dead bees, and these are special castes called Undertaker Bees. So cleaners or Undertaker Bees. And other bees were patrolling and resting and circulating air, which may include also scenting. But when bees become an age of 12 days, they're capable of wax secretion, and they're participating in building of comb and cupping of honey-filled cells. Very important function. The bee wax is produced in 4 parts of specialized wax glands on the underside of abdomen of a worker bees, the worker abdomen. Wax scales, small scales of white color, are laminated and white when secreted under their legs, including the spine of a middle pair of legs. Bees, they pass wax scales to the mouth parts, where they manipulate with scales into pliable form, and they're making wax cells. The need for bee wax is in a mature colony or in a beekeeper's hives is generally low, so not all workers will produce wax. But when needed, as in the nest found in, wax secretion and comb building is a high priority task. Bees cup both bee wax cells filled with fully ripened honey and cells containing pupae. Pupal cells cups are consisted partially of reused wax, so that is stored in the rim of the brood cells and partially from new produced wax. The reused wax gives pupal cells the distinctive brown color. Cells cupping over honey are usually entire of new wax, and therefore they have a light color. Cupped honey cells do not usually show the distinct hexagonal outline that the brood cells will. What about honeybees in the age of 14 days? So you see in 12 days they're building combs as the workers. In age of 18 days, adult workers become attracted to the light. They have already positive phototaxis behavior, and their hormonal levels changes. The juvenile hormone, among others, for example, produced. The key behavior change from house bees to entrance and outside activities. Bees may leave their home via orientating flights. Initially, a bee flies just in front of her colony entrance, but when progresses to circular flights around her home, widening the flight in the area of her colony. With successful flight, the bee uses landmarks to learn her home location. This is critical for individuals because each hive has distinctive odors, and if a bee were in attempt to enter another hive, she could be killed, although some bees do accidentally enter other hives, and this behavior called drifting. Hive in the end of a rows and adjacent to distinctive landmarks will usually gain bees from drifting, while hives in the middle of rows colonies lose bees. Okay, after orientation flights, process of guarding of hive entrance is an important activity of bees. So this is a cast and function guard bees, which is activity for bees from 18 to 21 days of age, where it says guard bees. Guard bees smells each individual which enters the colony. Guards will challenge individuals that do not possess the distinctive characteristic odor of each hive. Hive odor is a composed odor from both the queen pheromones and the food collected by workers. Guards are usually present all the time at the hive entrance. So these are castes of hard bees. And what about next function? This is about field bees. By 21st day of age, bees are performing a number of hive duties and they are now ready to begin foraging. They are becoming foraging bees. Field bees forage for one of the four materials needed inside the colony. They're foraging for pollen, nectar, water, and propolis. Foraging is a hazardous duty. Bees can get lost, they may starve, or they may be eaten by numerous predators. A field bee lives from 10 to 21 days, usually, and then they dies sometimes of old age. In winter, actually, adult bees may live 6 months or even more as they are reduced hive and field duties delay the age process, enabling them to survive during the winter. It is not correct to assume that all the bees work and know that all bees do their old duties. There is a great deal of learning involved to perfect some of their behaviors. And actually, scientists were wondering, in fact, all the tasks do get done because there is variation of individual bees. Some behaviors are strictly related to granular activity, like nurturing and wax secretion, for example, while others are not. Conditions due in the hive or in the forage situation outside the hive frequently change, and bees can modify their duties so all work is done. And what's about in other types of bees? We can say we have adults. These are fully growing insect after a process of metamorphosis. And we can say immature bees. These are larvae. So this is a different stage of development. Immature bees or just a brood. Immature bees or brood. And adults, females, and drones, males. And what's about functions? So I check another book. Okay. We can say such interesting type of bees like gynandromorph bees. Yes, gynandromorph bees. This is bees which possess two different types of bees, bee sexes. This is just a rare case, but gynandromorph bees sometimes happening and can be inside beehive, especially if probably queen is old or conditions in a beehive is not very favorable. So gynandromorph bees possess sex of male and female in the body of one the same adult. It's strange, but sometimes it happens, and even just the body of a bee, worker bee or drone bee, just separated to have one body half is a female and another male. So antenna of a male, antenna of a female or worker. Thorax haired as a male and as a worker female, and the same even structure of legs. One leg belonging to drone and another leg belonging to the worker bee. So this is gynandromorph bees. This is a mutation. This is type of mutation. It happens, and I've seen them, and even I took photos, and I will talk about it later in a special video. Now, but if you can see unusual bees fixated, let them die in a box, or you can send them to me in a special package for investigation, and I will tell what was happening with your bees if you are in Ukraine, actually, or maybe in neighboring countries, positive neighboring countries. What else? What about another bees? Honeybees? Well, this is a special name as a honey-laden bees. This is a bee which is carrying bee baskets and carrying nectar. This is a field bee which is carrying nectar from the field inside beehive. Honey-laden bee. And house bee, this is bee inside beehive. Indian bee, this is Apis indica. An Italian bee, Apis mellifera. Italian bee, this is Apis mellifera ligustrica, subspecies of Apis mellifera. I will not tell about native or wild bees. And what is about another male bee? This is a drone, definitely. And I selected terminology in special. Okay, this is type of way understood. Cleaning bee, bee which is cleaning the beehive, cleaning beehive, guard bee, nurse bee, and bee which is collecting wax or producing wax. This is wax making bee. Wax making bee. There are some bees which are carrying water from outside inside the beehive, inside the house. This is water carrying bee. Water carrying bee. Nice bee, which is belonging to the colony, coming outside, searching for water, and water carrying bee bringing the water inside the beehive. And what's about bee which is making hexagonal bee cells? This is maintenance bee. Maintenance bee. Worker bee which is maintaining the beehive. Worker bee. But what about some bees which are coming from another beehive and trying to steal honey from another hive? This is a robber bee. Robber bees is existing, especially in autumn. In autumn, if you open entrance too much, so the bees from strong colony will come to a weak colony and will steal the honey because there is no flowers outside, but beautiful stock of honey in the weak colony. So strong colony come into weak colony and steal it because this is a function and behavior of bees. Robber bees, stealing bees. Not very good from our human position. Okay, we understood that field bees were called foraging bees, or forager bees. And talking about bees, we need to say from biological point of view that honeybees were social bees because they are living and acting and working as social bees. But there are some other native bees. They are called solitary bees. And among field bees, there are some bees which are called scout bees. Yes, you know, the young boys, they're scouts. They like to come to the forest to do something. The same scout bees. The scout bees were searching for the stock, for foraging places. They're searching scout bees. They're searching for places where to collect nectar, or maybe scout bees. They're searching for new beehive during the process of spreading the colony, or searching for new house for colony. Scout bees, solitary bees, and we can say sometimes we can observe old bees in a colony. As we said, for instance, if they survive during the winter, 6 months or more during the autumn and the spring and the winter. So they're becoming old bees. And sometimes foraging bees, they're losing hairs. They're hairless bees. They have no hairs. They're becoming brown, or we say gray colored. They're bald bees. Bald bees. Such strange, but they are really recognized. They're hairless. If you see that bees were coming to one special place, like in a line, we can say these are flying bees. Flying bees. Just a recognition about flying bees. Flying bees, they're flying. And the line of a flight, we can say this is lining bees. Lining bees. So these are different types of bees, and I guess so I didn't tell you about all types of honeybees. And of course, when old bees becoming very old age, they're dying, and we have in a beehive, they fall down, they're laying just on the bottom of a beehive, and these bees are called dead bees. Dead bees, sorry about that. They're called dead bees. Active bees, alive bees, and dead bees. Dead bees. Yeah, sorry about it. So, and we can say old bees after the winter, and young bees during the spring, summer, and even autumn. Young bees of young age. Young age. So this is not because of their development. Not about function, but about the stage of development. Young bees and old bees. I hope so. It was funny, interesting, and entertaining to talk about different types of bees. I do not make animation of bees during the presentation. Here are some kinds of bees on these pictures, because if you make animation, it's distracting the speech. But today I did presentation for English-speaking audience and not native speakers of English. For not native speakers of English. In English, as an English lesson. English lesson. Why? Why English lesson for not native speakers? Because this is idea about how to work as a beekeeper in your own country, in your native country, speaking your native in language which is different from English, maybe German, maybe French, maybe Spanish, maybe European, 30 countries, 30 countries in European part, or maybe in Asia, in Africa, in Asia, in America. People are speaking different languages. So that's why I'm speaking English. English is becoming an international language for different countries. And my next stream, online stream, yes, online stream will be about job of beekeeper, because this is a very interesting and urgent question for many of beekeepers, especially the young beekeepers. How to find a good well-paid, decent job, well-paid, and sometimes they want to be beekeepers, but they worry about the salary, of beekeeper and how to survive, how to live comfortably, not starving in their own country. So that's why they sometimes want to immigrate, or emigrate, or just evacuate. Sometimes, sorry about that. Evacuate, like in Ukraine, it's also a difficult question, to another country. That's why tomorrow I try to continue my stream and will tell you about how to find job as a beekeeper abroad. Abroad, it means in other country, probably in country with English language, or maybe with another language if you can speak properly any of the European languages, if you know some beautiful Asian country where you want to migrate with qualification of beekeeper or biologist. That's why this stream will be devoted how to find job for biologists abroad. We will talk some ideas how to do it tomorrow in 6 or 7 p.m. after lunch. 7 p.m. tomorrow on the second day of October will be continuation of our English lessons about beekeeping and about biology in English. Sorry about English speaking for people who do not speak and do not listen, do not hear English language, and only can write with dictionary. Never mind. Develop your skills. Develop your reading, writing, hearing, listening abilities, not only writing, not only typing, but also speaking abilities. That's very important to find job for biologists and for beekeeper. And we will talk about it tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Keep in touch. Write your comments under this video. I'm very pleased to see you, and I hope you can come and write your comments under this video during meantime. And enjoy yourself. Enjoy beekeeping. Enjoy honeybees. Enjoy bee honey. Enjoy honey. And maybe you can find job as a beekeeper with decent salary. This will be next subject for my streams. Thank you for watching. I close one.